flip side of that, being real careful and cautious with regard to our steps toward making disciples is I think another uh, quality of a good BAM company is that they create value in the community. In other words, they are wanted there, and not just for some peripheral reason, but there's a tangible result to that company and that individual in being there. And I think of a couple of well-known people that you know so well, I do too, who ended up in building a business and two businesses in a country where there was a lot where the handicapped people had really had no value. And I remember him talking about walking to work and seeing beggars on the streets or people without one limb or something, born with imperfections and so on, and no government effort to help these people, and no family of rejecting them, thinking him asking the Lord to, what can I do? And one time he was so frustrated, he said, I'm going to give you 4 seconds, God, to tell me what I should do with these people. And lo and behold, God did. He said, take them into your business. And he did. And pretty soon, the mayors of that city, several million people, knew about him, knew about the business. The only buddy who cared for these people on the street were giving him something to do in the business. And they were proud of it and were telling other people at the mayor conferences in the country. And so there you had the decision makers in an anti-God context were proud of this Christian guy who's doing something good for the company. And there's lots of stories like that. And I think that we it really pains me when I hear about this guy getting kicked out of the country, and another one in one country about 10 years ago, I had 180 people kicked out, one falls through. I can guarantee you that they weren't all creating value for the country. In fact, most probably weren't, because that is, people see that and they say, oh, they're Christians. We know that, but they're not all here just to disobey the law and be proselytized. No, they have done something good for us. And I
Yeah.
think that's a key quality to remember.
Well, let's play with this for a second, because you earlier you were talking about no financial profit, no business, and that's true. If a company does not make money, it will not survive. End of discussion. Mic drop. Right? Just done. But the same thing is true with value. And so the classic definition of business is the creation and exchange of value within a system. You could do it through barter. You could do it with money. You could do it now. You could do it with cryptocurrency. I mean, it's not about the money or the medium or the whatever. It is about, is there an exchange of value? And if there is, you are doing business. If there is no exchange of value, there is no business. You're just a fraud, frankly. And I think about the story you told, of course, and I've heard just recently. I interviewed a guy that's working in Southeast Asia, not the giant country, but a big country, and his government, the officials around him, they know what he's doing. They know he's a believer. They know that people are coming to Christ. They actually know that churches are being started, but they not only tolerate him, they support him. They champion him. They honor him because of the value he brings to the community. The people live better, they eat better, they have medical care, they have education, not through charity, through business. And that exchange of value, one of my favorite characters of Scripture is Daniel. And Daniel's character and the quality of his work, which is exchange of value, is a government official, for Pete's sake. We beat them up all the time, but he was a government official who exchanged value and got influence as a result of it. And Daniel chapter 6 says he was a man of excellent work and excellent character. And that's that. I'm not saying somebody like that's not ever going to run into problems with the law. They might, but generally speaking, they don't. They bring value, and as long as there's more value than cost, which is another business proposition, is what am I paying you or trading you something that is the value is greater for me, That's a good deal, right? And that's what you just described with our mutual friend.